So when you hear the word mortgage payment, mortgage has to do with the money you borrowed. You borrowed the principal, you did not borrow the interest. So how is it that they can charge you interest? They charge you interest based on the month-end balance. Okay. So if my first balance is $200,000, then the interest on that $200,000 is $1,000. Now I pay my mortgage payment and $199.10 goes to principal. Now I only owe $199,800.90 because they subtract the $199. So now when I have this number, now my rent is based on $199,800. Well, I pay less interest now because I owe less. And my next interest payment goes all the way down to $999. Look at that. $1 difference. Oh my goodness. And the next month, another dollar. And the next month, another dollar. Look at that. It just goes down very slowly. And the money that used to be in interest goes over to principal side. So your payment remains the same. Now, here's the thing. They could have chosen another formula to charge you interest, but they chose this formula because it makes so much money for the bank. Now, there is a weakness in this formula. Oh man, it is such a huge weakness, and here it is. You can save money at the same exact rate they're charging you because they chose this formula. Oh yeah. So here's the thing. For this formula to keep making big money for the bank, in this case, 115.838% interest on this loan. You're going to pay back 115.838% of what you borrowed. In fact, you're going to pay back more in interest than you borrowed in principal because it's at 6%. But you can save at the same rate that they're charging you if you know what to do. And here's the thing. You can never, ever know how they're doing it. Because once you know how they do it, you'll know what to do not to pay the interest. So here's what we're talking about, folks. You can never know how the bank is doing this because once you know, you will not have to pay interest like you're paying now. So let's just say that this first payment is in January. You're making your January payment of $1,199.10. $199.10 goes to principal, $1,000 goes to interest. Way too much money. But you can see, if you have this amortization schedule, you can see February's principal payment even before you make it. So next month's principal payment is $200.10. So if we make our payment in January, sir, do I have to wait till February to give the bank this $200.10?
No, you do not.
If I have it, can I give it to them in January as well?
You definitely can if you have it.
So if I have it, I can give them that $200.10 on top of my regular payment. I've already made my regular payment. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give them additional $200.10 in January. Do you realize all of this money goes to principal and they have to subtract that from what I owe from the $199,800.90. So now I'm paid down to $199,600.80 because I gave them the $200 early. So I'm paid down to the principal balance here on line 2 in January, which makes my February payment now, my new February payment on what line of this schedule, Kurt?
Line number 3.
Exactly. So I'm paying $201.10 and $998. That is my new payment. Now it's the same amount, folks, but it's just a different configuration on every line. Well, what just happened? I just got rid of line 2 on my mortgage. So Kurt, the first time you saw this, that you can get rid of a whole line on your amortization schedule for only $200.10 instead of $1,200. You could get rid of it for $200.10. What did you think?
I thought it was magic. I didn't think it was real. Didn't think it was possible, honestly.
So exactly. So payment number 1 is now touching payment number 3.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Number 2 is gone and you got rid of it for $200.10. So Kurt, I got to ask the question, what happened to this $999 on line 2? What happened to that?
My current answer is that it's been canceled. My
It
current
has
answer.
your current answer. So you just canceled $999 in interest the bank was looking for. You see, you can save at the same rate they were going to charge you if you know what to do. This is why you can never, ever know how they're doing it. Because once you know, you can save this for $200 paid up front. Before the next day, you save $999 in interest on this loan. So if we could do that, Kurt, what if we made January's payment? And if we had a little bit of money in the bank, we could give them the $200.10, the 201.10, and the 202.10. Ooh, that's $603.30 out of our bank account. What would happen to these three interest payments? And if we round it up, Kurt, that's almost how much money we just saved.
That's $3,000 canceled.
Almost $3,000 canceled for taking $600 out of your bank account, applying it to the mortgage at the right time. You save nearly $3,000 in interest on this loan only because now you're learning how to read it. This is why the people who own the bank don't even teach this to their employees, their own employees. The people who are mortgage professionals don't understand the amortization schedule that their income is based on. Their income is based on this model. How they make their money, how they get their paychecks every single week is based on this model. And they don't understand how their own banking institution makes money with it because they have not been taught.
Wow.
So you can't blame them for not teaching you. And guess what? Real estate agents, we got real estate agents on this stage this morning, folks. When they got their real estate license, they weren't taught this either. We have accountants that come in here from time to time. They weren't taught this either. Not even the CPAs. Wow. Financial planners come in here from time to time. They weren't taught this either. Well, listen, folks, if all the financial professionals that you know were not taught how a loan works, how could you know? It is not taught at any level of financial education. So how do you think we're going to get it at the high school level or at the college level for you and me?
Wow.
That's why we're here. This is why this stage has been curated on Clubhouse to bring you this information.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.